The baler is finally here. After weeks of watching weather forecasts like my life depended on it, poking grass, checking moisture levels and wondering if we'd ever get this hay in, it's actually happening. I don't think I have ever been so pleased to see a tractor. Well, the moisture meter has spoken and apparently the grass isn't quite as dry as we would have hoped. So instead of making hay, we're making haylage. Not exactly the plan, but at this point I'll take any version that involves just getting it in safely off the field. This is our first time we've ever attempted making hay, and what a learning curve it's been. We've had a few highs, a few lows, and more than a few moments where we wondered what on earth we're doing. But overall it's been good fun, and we've learned an awful lot along the way. I think for a first attempt we've done pretty well. There's still some grass left to cut, but the pea season is just around the corner, so that will have to wait for another day. Farming has a funny way of keeping the to-do list longer than the list of jobs you've actually finished. And just like that, the bales are safely in the field. I have to admit I'm quite proud of them, although I'm not entirely sure it's normal to be this attached to a load of wrapped grass. I'm at the wood apiary. I've just come to see how the split I made last week that I wanted to record for you, but for some reason my camera didn't record it. So I've just popped along to see if they need any more feed and to see how they're getting on. Fantastic. So you can just see that they're just starting to make a few queen cells, which is perfect. What we want to see. I'm back with the little nuke we moved from the Home Sweet Home apiary a few days ago. It was showing signs of chronic bee paralysis virus, which is a fairly common honeybee virus. It can spread quickly for a hive and cause real problems, so we thought it was best to move it and keep it far away from the other hives. I don't know if these bees are going to make it through. I'm not going to disturb them. I'm just going to give them... I don't know if these bees are going to make it through, but I'm probably wasting my time, but I like to give everything a chance, and bees seem to amaze me all the time. Labels have just turned up, so I'll be able to get them on the honeycomb now, and then I'll be able to get them to the shop and sell them, and I might even put them a few on my website if I ever get the website done. As I have the labels ready now for the honeycomb, I thought I'd better taste the produce first to make sure it's all right. I've never tried honeycomb before, so I'm quite excited. Oh wow, look at that. That is really, really good. I love honey anyway, but to have it from the comb, it tastes different. It's absolutely delicious. Welcome to the windy apiary. I've come to put another super on this hive. This is the one that got blown over in winter, but they've recovered really well, so I'm going to add another super with some cut comb foundation in. Next up is the swarm we collected from a tree a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to see how they're getting on. They've been busy drawing out the frames, and I can see eggs in the hive, which is always a good sign. They have made a few queen cells though, so it'll be interesting to keep an eye on them and see how they get on. I'm trying not to say too much about this hive because it's winding me up a bit. Something's clearly gone wrong somewhere along the lines. Whether they've swarmed and the queen's not performing, or whether she's just a new queen finding her feet, I don't know yet. So I'm going to shut them up, walk away and try not to think about them for a couple of days. But this hive, on the other hand, is actually a nice surprise. I was a bit worried when I first opened it and thought, oh no, what's wrong with this one now? But the queen is laying well and there's a lovely brood pattern and everything looks as it should. So I'm actually pretty happy with this one. When I'm looking through a hive, one of the main things I'm looking for is evidence that the queen is present and laying well. I don't actually need to see the queen herself. Eggs, young larvae and a nice area of brood usually tells me everything I need to know. This frame is looking pretty good and a decent amount of brood and plenty of bees covering it. So I have got one that's definitely queen, right? One that it seems like they've got a queen, but there's no sign of eggs or anything. So I wonder if they've got a virgin in there who's just waiting to lay, because they did seem quite calm, they didn't seem normal. And then I've got this one that I think their queen, I think they swarmed. I don't think their queen got mated properly, and I think she's turned brood laying. Either that or it's laying workers. So I'm just going to give them, I think, a week just to check that it's not a queen that's just sort of finding her way. And then they might have to be shaken out if they are brood laying. There's loads of bumblebees about, isn't there? I'm just looking at this bumblebee on the clover. Absolutely loving it. Right, okay, crack on. It has been such a busy week this week. I've been so busy. I have been working on my new website, which is really exciting. Hopefully by the time you watch this video it will be done and it will be out on the internet. So if you want to see how I've got on, please take a look at www.restawhileapiaries.co.uk and put in the comments what you think of it. I hope you like it. I hope it's all right.